Hands. Those weird things that dangle from the ends of your arms. If you're an artist, you've looked at hands. Maybe you've tried to draw hands. But honestly, man, hands suck. Hands are one of the hardest things to draw. They might make you sad. Like, really sad. They might make you angry. Even looking at a hand can send some artists into a rage. Maybe you draw a very attractive character and get to the hands and you realize, oh man, I don't want to do this. Let me just put his hands in his pockets. Now, unfortunately, I don't think that there's any shortcuts to drawing hands. We got to do the hard work. We got to put in the practice. A lot of it's putting in hours. So I decided that I would draw over 100 hands using 5 steps across about a week. So if you'd like to follow along, let me show you how to do it. All right, day 1 is going to be drawing 20 hands just from imagination. Now for this, I didn't even look at my hands. I could have put on some mittens, but honestly I wouldn't have been able to use my keyboard and things would have been a mess. So I just did my best to not even look at my hands for this. And these steps you can apply to practicing anything. Now I really don't go over like anatomy or construction in this. I might save that for another video. Mostly this is a practice method that can be applied to anything. I wanted to use hands because, come on, everyone hates hands. So, day 1, about 20 hands, pure imagination. And as you can see, they're okay. I think that I've got a decent enough baseline of drawing hands. Definitely something that I like to practice a lot. But there's a lot of parts of hands that I just don't feel good about. I don't feel good about knuckles or fingernails or the creases in a palm, sort of the, detail work. I'm not a very detail-focused guy. I spend a lot of the time just like drawing out these volumes or getting outlines in. There's a couple cylinders in there, but you don't need cylinders. I think most of the hands that I do, I don't even use construction. So then at the end of each day, when I've got my, roughly 20 hands, I make a new layer in my document and I go over them with a pen. I think that this is a great opportunity to practice inking as well. Anytime that you're doing a study, you can take your rough sketches and ink on top of them because it can be very, very helpful to practice more than one skill at a time. I put a little flat under these guys just so that we could see them better. Not going to do shading. That would be way too much. Day 2, working from photo reference. So I just grabbed these from Pinterest. I thought that one of the things that I missed in doing from imagination that first day, I didn't have any hands grabbing objects or interacting with anything. And, what are hands? They're little fleshy grabbers. They're going to be grabbing stuff. So grabbing pencils, grabbing cups, balls, cylinders, grasping cylinders. It's good to have practice drawing anything interacting, right? Bottles, so anything that would be common for hands to interact with. This is a great way to practice this, especially like the book one that I had in here, showing not just one but 2 hands. And hey, that counts as double, right? And here's all my rough sketches and then a quick little ink in. One of the things with inking that I think a lot of people find to be difficult is there's a lot of implied information in a sketch, and we tend to lose that when we move into inking. And I think that there are ways to maintain that implied information it allows your brain to fill in more stuff and ends up just looking and feeling a bit better. So broken or incomplete lines, pockets of shadow where something is totally inked in, like a larger area, not just a line. These types of things can help a lot. Also, just being very definite with our inking. Day 3, I pulled up some artist reference. So this first one here is from Loish. Studying from artists is a fantastic way to improve your skills because each person, as many people as there are on Earth, that's how many different ways there are at looking at the world. So what I noticed about Loish is she has a great balance between the silhouette and the interior shapes. All right, study number 2. This is from Marc Brunet, and he has really fantastic construction. I've been following his videos for a while, and just getting all of those volumes and muscles right in there. Really fantastic stuff. So there's some grabbing some cylinders there. Okay, next up is Sinix, and this man is about pure shapes. Like some of these hands just look so nasty, but they were a lot of fun. All right, this one is Akutami Gege from Jujutsu Kaisen, the artist who does Jujutsu Kaisen. He has just a very expressive penmanship, very expressive brushwork. I know that he does all digital, but he still maintains that traditional roughness, which is really amazing. Being very conscious about placing hands in space, but still maintaining the expressive line work. So top row is Loish, second row is Marc Brunet, third row is Sinix, fourth row is Akutami Gege. Alright, so I got a confession to make. I took off for a couple of days for a long weekend. Drawing every day can be very exhausting. I actually don't recommend drawing every day. You'll burn out. It's good to have a consistent practice, but let's be realistic here. Okay, day 4, drawing from reference again. So I'm using the same reference after drawing from imagination, drawing from reference once, drawing from artists. This is going to be a test of, how much did I learn and how can I exercise my observation skills. So I thought that these turned out just so much better. The things that I wanted to focus on are in there. We've got a lot better knuckles and tendons and skin creases and just like more expressive shapes. I know that the artists I looked at are very different, but combining these different ways of drawing hands, these different modes of observation, were just so incredibly helpful. Like comparing these hands to the hands that I drew earlier, it's night and day. All right, last but not least, probably the hardest one is just drawing from imagination. I did permit myself to look at my hands for this one, just because there are certain like oh my goodness, finger positions that you can and cannot do, certain ways that the wrist bends. I also think like drawing really big helps here, but no, I'm pretty happy with how these turned out. Definitely being very judicious with what information I put in, drawing some hands holding stuff from imagination, holding a little cup there, and a quick ink, and that'll do it. So yeah, I think that this 5-step method can work for anything: faces, hair, clothing, animals. whatever you want. So I hope that this video was, interesting. Certainly it can take a couple attempts to master hands, get it. But I think that, dedication and practice, that's all it is. Talent, talent is secondary to hard work. So thank you so much, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.